Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So I got another deck profile for you guys today. This time it's actually a deck I haven't picked up on in a long time, and in fact this is still one of my personal favorites. It's my Shadow Dinosaur deck, and I actually went back and just rebuilt it entirely and try to find new ways to make this deck even more consistent than it used to be. So because like nowadays it was a little too slow, but now I went back and kind of like found a way to make it a little bit faster and without breaking it like a whole lot, because I heard people were having trouble with this deck because it was breaking them too much, and I never had that much trouble with it. But I decided to go back, work on the ratios, and found a new and better way to build this deck. So I'm just going to show you guys what I felt like was the best way to play this deck, and honestly the results were really good. I actually really enjoyed playing this deck, and probably one of the better dinosaur variants. So let me go and show you what I got. Alright, so starting off with the dinosaurs, gotta be playing 3 copies of Oviraptor. Best card in the entire deck. It's your Rhoda, Foolish Barrel, and Monster Reborn. So yeah, Oviraptor, definitely broken. I can see why the OCG has this card at 1. Next, 3 Miscellaneousaurs. What's great about this card is that it also protects your deck from Nibiru, Ash Blossom, pretty much every hand trap. It's also a good way to avoid cards like Evenly Matched, you know? So, yeah. Miscellaneousaurs can be used both offensively and defensively, so that's why I'm really happy that he's back at 3. He should never have been hit in the first place. 2 Ultimate Conductor Tyranno. Only playing 2 because, you know, this is not necessarily a pure dinosaur deck, but I do like to bring him out as soon as I can. Usually, especially when I run the Shaddoll fusions, you know, send Quatless with one of my Shaddolls, get Winda out, and get a free pill just to get Tyranno out. Most people can't play around that board, so Tyranno is still one of the best boss monsters to this day. Next, 2 Overtex Quatless. I may consider running this down to just 1 just to make room for one more Shaddoll monster or another dinosaur. But the reason I'm running it is because it recycles all your dinosaurs, and it's also spell and trap card negation. Plus, if you dump it off to the grave with a card effect, it's a free search for your pills, so definitely need that. Next, 2 Dino-Rustler Pankratops. Not running 3 because 3 was breaking me like a lot, so I just bumped it down to 2. And plus, it's relatively easy to get out with cards like Petite Pteranodon, so that's why I'm only running just running 2. And honestly, 2 is all you're ever going to need. For 1-ofs, 1 Giant Rex, and 1 of each of the babies. Of course, Dracalo is one of those, so yeah. And that's pretty much it for the Dino package. Alright, for Shaddolls, I'm only running 3 right now. Running 1 Beast, 1 Hedgehog, and 1 Dragon. And Dragon, considering it's only had I think 1 or 2 printings, definitely need to get this as soon as you can. But hopefully it'll be in the structure deck, so yeah. But yeah, these are the best 3. I might, like I said, I might cut down Quatless to 1 just so I can make room for a card like Falco, which just acts as free pop fodder for your Tyranno. So, but I mean, honestly, you're not playing a slow game, so I think these are all you're going to need. So yeah. All right, now we're moving on to hand traps. Playing 3 Ash, and of course, one of the most broken hand traps, Psyframe Gear Gamma. Of course, you got to run the 1 Driver. And what's good about, even though Driver, you know, if you open up with it, you could also use it for Shaddoll Fusion to go into cards like El Shaddoll Construct. So this card's never fully dead. So yeah, and plus I'm also running Psyframe Lord Lambda so this lets you play these cards from hand even if you have monsters on board. So definitely a great card to consider, and also can't be hit with Call by the Grave, so that's why it's so broken. So it's like Effect Veiler and Ghost Ogre all in 1 package. And it's not once per turn either, so always keep that in mind. Alright, so now we're moving on to spells. 3 Shaddoll Fusion, 3 Falso Dig. I'm still running Lost World because, you know, everyone really hates this card right now, so yeah. And of course Terraforming. And Lost World's just really good to deal with Sky Strikers since, you know, Widow Anchor is just stupid. But with Lost World, you know, you can protect your dinosaurs from that. 2 double evolution pill. Never gonna run that 3rd one. That 3rd one's just gonna be a brick. And honestly, this card's really easy to ash, so that's why. 1 Foolish Burial, and last but not least, Monster Reborn. So that's 40 cards in the main deck, and yeah, like I said, really good. So now we're moving on to the extra deck. Starting off with the fusions, playing 2 copies of El Shaddoll Winda, another card just to deal with Nibiru. But really great card just because it's a floodgate. Each player can only special summon 1 per turn and can't be destroyed by your opponent's card effects. So definitely a great card to just so, you know, toy with your opponent. Running 1 Il-Shadal Shekinaga, it's a negation. And of course, the broken Il-Shadal Construct. And honestly, I can see why this card was banned for so long, but I'm glad it's back at 1. Honestly, I think this card can come back at 3 now that there's so many decks that have built-in protection. But it's just a good way just to keep dumping your Shadal monsters. So that's the only reason why you want to run it. For links, I'm only running 3. 1 Ciphering Lord Lambda. Pentastack to give Tyranno piercing damage. And the only link 4 I'm running is Borlo Dragon. So, yeah. And from here, we're just running a bunch of Xyz monsters. Another card to deal with, also cards like Nibiru or any other hand trap. Got Dolka, unfortunately can't stop impermanence, but, you know, still a great card. 1 Lagia, which negates any summon. Got Tornado Dragon to deal with back row Abyss Dweller. It's really good against the Orcus matchup. Got 1 number 60, just to double the attack points of your Tyranno, especially if it's under Pentastag. You definitely want to get that piercing damage going for it, so yeah. And just a good card to deal with Time Rules, Super Dreadnought Rel, Gustav Max. As for my only synchros, I'm running Chambara, and of course, Ciphering Lord Omega, which is one of the reasons why I want to run Quatless at just 1, because this restores Quatless, so, and it just shuffles it back to the grave, or back into the deck if this card is sent to the graveyard, so yeah, that's the only reason. Alright, so for the side deck, it's pretty standard. Running 3 Artifact Lancia, also deal with like Thunder and Orcus matchups. 3 Mind Controls. 3 Super Poly, I may bump it down to 2, make room for like Starving Venom Fusion Dragon. So, and honestly, I think I'm pretty much going to go with that, honestly, just because you never really want to see that third one. 3 Twin Twisters, and then lastly, 3 Evenly Matched. You know, just to, like I said, this deck's really good at going second, so definitely want to make full use of that. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this deck profile, and I will catch you guys again next time.